for the day and questions for the week, and call us consistently. You have the opportunity to make it a duty to call us. For those that call and answer our question regularly, we would get across to you on when to come to this program. We have two categories for those that will be coming. The first category are those that are undergraduates in the university or higher education of learning, and also the second category will be those that are in the secondary school, that are in the secondary school or secondary school leavers, as the case may be. So you have the opportunity of coming to join me on here, and we ask you 1 or 2 questions, and we talk about engineering, science, technology, and mathematics. That is what we're going to be talking about. So let me jump into it. The question for today is plants that grow in saline water are called what? Plants that grow in saline water are called what? If you know the answer, please call us or go to our social media handles as displayed on your screen and drop the answer. If you get it correctly, you get the prize courtesy of our sponsor, Prince Engineer Mrs. Shilon, FNSC. And without taking any of our time, my guest is already here with us, and I'll take this very, very short break, and when we return, I'll let you know who my guest is and what kind of topic he's going to be talking about. All right, glad to know that you are still there. And in case you are just joining us, this is Engineering and You. And we want to, my guest is already here. She's joining us via Zoom. And she's Engineer UCHECHI EDOSOMWAN. She's a graduate of Electronic Engineering from University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and Masters in Electrical Engineering from Ahmadu Bello University. She is a licensed air traffic safety engineering personnel and a fellow of the Nigerian Set of Engineers. Vice Chairman of Institute of Nigerian Aeronautical Engineer. Let me be the one to ask the first question before she starts. What does it mean? What do you do as a licensed air traffic safety engineer?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for the question, and thank you for the honor of being on this program. Well, a licensed air traffic safety engineer. Actually, we work on what we call CNS, communication, navigation, and surveillance. All right. I like to tell people that if you've ever gone on a flight, from the time the pilot starts the engine of the aircraft till he's shut down, he needs to communicate with air traffic controllers, okay? And then his aircraft needs to communicate with navigational aids on the ground. So what we do in my own sector, in my agency, the engineering, we ensure that the pilot and the aircraft are talking to something or someone, as the case may be, for a safe flight. So we deal with the communication, we deal with the navigation, and we deal with the surveillance. I think that's the easiest way to explain it.
All right, you have the floor now. Your topic and your discussion for what you have for us today.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much once again for this opportunity. We're going to be looking at choosing an engineering career, your choice of engineering. And everybody knows the acronym STEM. It's become a common thing, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. All right. And where we are today, based on the trends, you find out that companies are actually looking for those who have STEM-based skills. They are on high demand. They are on high demand. And any nation that would move forward must focus on those courses, actually, because, if we look at the health sector, you need science, you need technology, you need engineering, and you need maths to be able to push forward. Like the biomedical engineer, it works in those sectors, or the educational sector. All right, so, but then there's a little challenge, probably because of our country or being in the third world nation, as the case may be, we have a poor student-teacher ratio, and then probably a gender bias against the girl child. You need to forgive me, really, because I'm a girl child, and just a few days ago, October 11th, we had the International Day of the Girl Child. And I need to stress that most of the STEM courses don't boast of the girl child making up to 30%, actually. Coincidentally, my husband is also an engineer, so I was asking him, I said, oh, during those your days in your class, he studied mechanical engineering before he went into being an aviation engineer. He's an aircraft maintenance engineer currently, and he said that there were 8 in their class, but no single female. So maybe it was those times, I don't know, but now there's an improvement, but we're not where we need to be. We're not where we should be. And then the Association of Professional Women Engineers and then other initiatives like the Girl Child Engineer initiatives, they are trying to roll out programs that will address that. But I needed to bring that in, so if you're a girl child listening to us, know that you can. You can actually excel in any of the STEM courses, all right? So, but why engineering? I'm an engineer and I'm proud to be one. A career really, for me, is an occupation you undertake for a significant period of time. I prefer to tell people that a career is living out your purpose while getting paid for it. I love being an engineer, all right? And then the word engineering is from 2 Latin words, ingenium and ingenier. And actually they mean cleverness and device. So you find that anyone in engineering is obviously very clever, because there's no way you can, bring a solution to a problem if you're not. All right, so, and then, but why do I think that people should go for engineering out of all these STEM courses? For me, engineering is the melting point or marriage of STEM. You can't have engineering without science, without technology, without mathematics. All right, so even where you are in the studio, take a good look around you. You find that anything, even the microphone you're using, if not for the engineer, you'll be screaming on top of your voice and will lose your fine voice. So 75 to 85%, and I'm being modest with that, it actually should be higher, but 75 to 85% of what you see was made possible by an engineer. I will talk about the parents' role. Please, I hope the slides are being projected.
Yeah, our engineers are working on it. It will go on.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry about it. Okay.
No,
so the parent's role, I like to say the parent is a great influencer in any young person's life. So if you're a parent out there listening, please do not discourage either your girl child or your boy child from studying any STEM course, particularly engineering. I'm an engineer today because my father actually sat me down and we looked at it. I loved mathematics. I was quite good at it, and I was someone that liked to, think up solutions to issues. You don't tell me there's a challenge and I walk away. No, we need to find a solution to it. So that was how I was guided, and I'm happy I made that choice. All right, so let me introduce us to the engineer. There are some identified skill sets that every engineer has or is in the process of developing, because of course life is a process. You don't ever get to that point. The first on my list is creativity. All right, the use of imagination, original ideas. Think of, the microphone. Somebody thought about it and said, oh, how can I aid someone's voice and make it louder? And then you have logical, analytical, and critical thinking. Fine, he's thought about it. Oh, I want to make somebody's voice, audible even at a great distance. So he has to objectively analyze that problem. There's a problem of the voice can't travel too far, so draw insights from it, make decisions and judgment, and then profile a solution. Now the engineer also gives attention to details. See, for you to excel as an engineer, you need to be able to prioritize tasks, set goals, and accurately focus. And then, of course, the engineer is a problem solver. So you have problem-solving skills, which is a systemic approach to break down complex issues and manageable parts. Do you want me to project? I don't know.
No.
Or do we go on?
Look, I think we are comfortable with your presentation.
Okay, fine. All right, so the next one is the engineer is actually a communication skills person. Why? Because I can think of something, I have ideas, I have thoughts, but I must be able to express it to you in such a way that you understand and give me the funds I need to drive the project. And then interpersonal skills. One thing I love about engineering is that you work in teams. You can't escape it. You must work in teams, And so the engineer actually has interpersonal skills. There's a competency in relating and interacting well with people. And of course, the engineer is a valuable member of the team any day, anytime. And then finally on my skill set list, the engineer has to be someone who's an ardent learner. Continuous learning. Why? Because there are new ideas springing up every day. The knowledge is advancing, technological and everything. But now, the young people out there, apart from knowing that these are the skill sets that an engineer should have, there's something beautiful about engineering as a profession. Any day, any time, And I'll just list just 6 of them. You have a platform to develop an amazing skill set. I already spoke about some of the skill sets, critical thinking, good judgment and all that. So you have a platform. Engineering gives you that platform. There's a problem here. Oh, we need light, for instance. Oh, okay, can we do solar? And then the engineer is thinking. So you have a platform to develop such skills. Even if you've not been engaged in such, a task, it's an opportunity. And so that's what it does. And then there's an opening in every sector or industry. Think of any sector, whether it's educational, whether it's health sector, whatever sector, you find that the engineer is needed there. And then engineering also fuels your passion for knowledge and solutions. If you meet an engineer and there's a problem, the engineer is already looking at it. Most people say, oh, there's a cup that has water halfway. And then some people say, oh, it's half full. Some say it's half empty. The engineer always feels it's half full. Okay, how can we make it better? How can we improve on this? So it fuels your passion for knowledge. There's no way you can profile solutions if you do not have a passion for knowledge. All right, and then, of course, because the engineer works in teams, there's an avenue for diverse perspectives and interactions. You must be able to interact with different views. If I tell you that, oh, what you're wearing is gray in color, now I could sit at an angle and tell you that, no, it's actually black. Someone else is sitting above you and saying that, but there's a white tint on it. So now you need all those perspectives. You need to come to a conclusion on, okay, this is actually the shade or the color of this. And then the engineer has high entrepreneurship opportunities. Yes, everybody's looking for white-collar jobs, but the government is even encouraging people to go out on their own, and be entrepreneurs. All right, so when you study engineering, you have that opportunity. And then finally on my list on that, you have access to a formidable network as an engineer, because you're mixing with different people. So how do you build an engineering career? This will be about my second to the last slide. How do you build an engineering career? An enviable one. We already know the core subjects, mathematics, physics, chemistry. I don't want to say something that you can actually find on the net if you go, searching. But there are some things I've heard that for me to excel, in the career as an engineer, there are some certain things I need. The first one is I've learned to do a SWOT analysis on myself. Usually when we talk about SWOT analysis, people think of other things. But conduct a personal SWOT analysis on yourself. That's your strength, your weakness, your opportunity, your threats. Leave the opportunities and threats. Let's look at the strengths and weaknesses. Do you know your strengths? Do you know your weaknesses? I knew I was very good in mathematics. I knew I also had a knack for preferring solutions. I don't see a challenge and I walk away from it. So which profession can actually help me, express that to the full? And that was engineering. So you need to do a SWOT analysis on yourself. And then you master skills and talents. I've already listed a whole lot of skills. And then the engineer must be someone who has I like calling it extra mark capacity. Why? Okay, there's a problem on ground, we're trying to find a solution to it. The solutions may not come easy. And so an engineer sticks to it until the solution is found. So you develop an extra mile capacity to be able to excel as an engineer, and then in the career, of course. And then you identify mentors. See, people have gone ahead, people have excelled. You need to be able to stand on their shoulders and, do better. I always tell my mentees, I want you to do better than I did or I've done. And then, of course, you face the music. I like to tell people, yes, engineering as a course is not difficult, but it's not easy. So you need to decide that, okay, this is what I want to do. And then you face the music. And that's getting on the train. And then finally, of course, I'm an engineer in the aviation sector. So you have several flavors of, the aviation engineer, the aircraft maintenance engineer, the aeronautical telecommunication engineer, which is where I fit into, the airport engineer, safety, and all that. But then you must start from the beginning. Some people who are aircraft maintenance engineers studied mechanical engineering first, and then did an abridged course, and then they are able to work on the aircraft. And so in conclusion, like I said before, yes, you can. Please, if you're a young person, know you can excel as an engineer. And in conclusion, I'll end with a quote from Queen Elizabeth II. It says, at its heart, engineering is about using science to find creative, practical solutions. It is a noble profession. And so I would say, on behalf of all the engineers out there, especially in Nigeria, we say we're willing to hold your hand and walk you into this noble profession, and of course, into greatness. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer UCHECHI. Thank you for that awesome delivery. Thank you so much. This is one of the first time I have a female engineer that would take us through and will not even lose the fact that you are talking. But I want to take you up on one or two things while we wait for our viewers to call in. First of all, when I was in school, mechanical engineering department of my school, we had 50 students, but just 2 females. And this is it's getting better, but you agree with me that it can get better. Now, if you are to address the female viewers that are watching, that are skeptical, thinking that engineering is a male field, what would you have to say?
I already said it before. Yes, you can. It's exciting to be in a class full of boys, and you're excelling all the things. So I would like to encourage the female engineer, please push forward. There's nothing impossible. There's nothing like a man's world.
Engineer UCHECHI, there's a caller on the line. Glory from away. Hello, Glory.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you doing today?
Fine, sir.
All right. Do you have a question for my guests, or do you want to answer my question?
Want to answer the question.
All right. Go ahead.
Sir, animals that live in salty water are called AIRSPACE.
All right, Glory. I'll let you know if you are correct. I hope you're enjoying the program.
Okay.
Thank you so much for calling.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. All right, UCHECHI, I would like to ask you this also. As parents, how do you encourage a child that you have seen maybe has a trait of has a good work with people, flow with people, has teamwork, team spirit? How do you encourage such?
Oh, okay. Something that parents need to learn to do is to talk with their children. Hear them out. A lot of times we want them to hear us, and we don't want to hear them. They actually make sense when they speak. So you can actually start by giving them little tasks and stand back. Don't mind that they may make mistakes. A lot of times we're so, worried. Oh, no, don't make a mistake. Don't fall. Let them fall. It's only a scratch. All right, so you give little tasks and watch how they do it. Oh, arrange this. Oh, can you find a solution to this? What do you think we can do about this? And then you listen to them and then discuss the solutions with them and say, okay, are you saying this? Okay, what if we look at it this way? All right, so that's the first thing I would say. Parents should learn how to discuss with their children. 2, they should learn to let them be. Kind of. I was discussing with a parent, one time, and he was saying that he was trying to get his daughter to do a certain course, and she was insisting on something else. All right, there's a caller.
we are supposed to have a caller, but you just lost. So you can go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know, and I told him, I said, hear her out. Find out why she wants this particular course. And then you can now guide. If a child understands that you're listening, you know, like I said, the engineer, if I use 2 words to define the engineer is a listener. Is a listener, a thinker, and a people-oriented person. All right, so give them tasks, stand back and watch them make the mistake, and then guide them properly. That's the only way you can develop confidence. They can develop confidence in themselves, because for you to excel as an engineer, you must be a confident person, because you're willing to dare to prefer a solution that you're not so sure will work.
We have another caller. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Fine, sir.
All right. Do you want to ask my guest a question, or you want to answer my question?
Yes, sir.
All right. Go ahead.
I want to ask her that if I want to be an engineer, okay, which course am I going to offer?
Which course? Subject. Okay. What kind of engineer do you want to become? What field?
Mechanical engineering.
All right. She will answer your question. Actually, did you get that? He's asking what subject combination to become mechanical engineer.
Yes, I got it. And so, like I said...
Okay, sorry. Hello?
Hello, sir.
You want to... okay, go ahead. Go ahead, very fast. All right, I'll let you know if you are correct. Thank you so much. So listen to the answer from our guest.
All right, so if you want to study mechanical engineering, okay, in JAM, you're expected to do maths, chemistry, and physics. Apart, English is core to everyone. It's a mandatory subject. So your maths, your physics, and your chemistry. So that's just it. So, and then of course in class, try not to avoid further maths. It will help you. A lot of students avoid further maths, but there's no point avoiding it. You don't need to take it in WAEC, you don't need to take it in JAM, but just use it as a platform to understand maths better. So those are the core subjects. Of course, you do your normal biology, and then technical drawing, please pay attention to it. They usually start it so early in the secondary school from, I think, GS3. So pay good attention, it will help you. But for the core subjects in JAM, physics, chemistry, and mathematics.
All right, our time is running, but I'd like you said something about engineering is entrepreneurial. Can you shed a little bit more light, maybe in the next 30 seconds, 1 minute, as we round off?
Okay, let me just use the solar that is common. We know that fuel prices are on the high, so other people could think of alternative, ways of getting their electricity. So you can think of solar. So someone who is good with that can set out and begin to offer that service, and you get paid for it, all right? Or if you're good in repairing things, you can begin to do that. So there are lots of things. You can even actually be doing it on the side, you just help someone, and then a lot of people also, so there are things you can do. Set out small. It mustn't be something so big. Start small, all right?
All right, thank you so much, Engineer UCHECHI EDOSOMWAN. I hope I got that correctly. Thank you so much for joining us. We really are grateful for having you. Very eloquent, very straight to the point, and explanatory. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
we want to say thank you to you out there too for calling, to our sponsor, Prince Engineer MC Shillong. Thank you so much for the sponsorship. Thank you for helping us to come here every Friday. And for the question for the day, Glory from away, you got it correctly. I know you are watching. Call this number 0703-161-1497 and claim your prize courtesy of our sponsor, Prince Engineer MC Shillong. And please do know that for every one of you that call, we have your phone numbers, and we are going to invite you when the time is right to come and feature on this program on the different categories that we have. We have to go. Our time is up. Thank you so much for being there. Next week is another time. But before then, we have a question for the week. Plants hormone that induce cell division is called what? If you know the answer, please, the conversation will have to continue on our social media platforms. Drop your answers. If you are correct, we'll get your prize courtesy of our sponsor, Prince Engineer MC Shillong, FNSE. Thank you for being there. Our time is up. We have to go. Bye-bye.